Hello, this is Nitin Dahad with the Times. I'm speaking to Dave Weidner, who's the CEO of Pelion, IoT. Dave, hello, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Good. So we're here at the IoT Expo show in London, and there's a small sort of selection of IoT companies and some of your competitors. Tell us a little bit about Pelion. I think I have a bit of history with one of your founders, Nigel Chadwick, coming from Stream, and then it came through ARM and then spun out again. Just give us a little bit of background.
No problem.
Your official story.
Yeah, no, look, appreciate it greatly. So Pelion is a company that was founded 25 years ago as Stream Technologies out of Glasgow, Scotland. We're still headquartered in Glasgow, and as you rightly point out, we're a business that's been focused on helping customers through this journey that started as M2M, became IoT.
Oh, I remember M2M.
And every acronym in between of how do you connect a device that's somewhere outside of your premise to actually achieve an outcome. And so the interesting part is we focus on solving that problem of how do I make connectivity work effortlessly for my solutions and more importantly to address my applications. The thing that we've always brought to it is the expertise, and this expertise is what we built the company about. So over the last 3 years, we've exited ARM, SoftBank, and we're taking a business forward that's really focused on how do we help customers solve for the outcomes they're trying to achieve in this IoT world. What's interesting about the event, while we have the IoT Expo piece, is it's actually a tech expo where you see people talking about AI, edge compute, digital transformation, and all these other conversations, and guess what? IoT is just one of the pieces that help customers solve that problem.
Exactly. I mean, when everything is converged now, it's connected, it's intelligent, and you want that coverage. And you fit bits of those, don't you?
We do fit bits of those, and one of the parts that people want us to solve is the hard question of how do I make sure that my solution can connect wherever it is in the world, whatever network happens to be around, and whatever conditions are happening from. So if a situation is I have a device that needs to do a reading once a day, once a week, once a month, I have an output I want to do. No one has a device. They actually have an outcome and they have a solution. Our connectivity, we're just a part of that puzzle in order to achieve things. So you think about AI and you think about the context of people using a ChatGPT, it only works if you're connected.
Yeah.
These types of things are part and parcel of that problem.
Now, just give us a fundamental of how your solution works. It's connecting by cellular networks, satellite networks?
Yeah, so great question. So what we provide is we help companies connect by cellular and be able to actually bridge that gap of being able to connect a device over a cellular network. We focus on being able to provide multi-network coverage for whatever market or area you're looking at. So we can provide, in the UK context for instance, multi-network coverage across the entire United Kingdom, across different network providers and operators, and we can also localize down. So the interesting part is we help you to localize for what you might need for some cases, and that might be a bandwidth concern. Where do you want the data to be able to go to? What are the challenges you might be facing from a business perspective? Or it also comes down to the commercial element. Sometimes I'm localized, I have a device that's never going to move, it's going to land on network X and it's going to stay there. So let's put us in that perspective, but have that ability to fall back to network Y or Z if there's an outage, a situation. So it all comes back to how do you actually support that effortlessly and make it so that customers don't have to actually be networking experts. They can actually focus on the solution and they can leverage us to get to the outcome.
Now, how do you engage with a customer? What's your business model? I mean, it's not just selling a SIM.
Nope.
And I interviewed Keegan, I think last year at one of the shows, the Hardware Pioneers. So I mean, you work with Keegan as well. Where's the hardware, software, application layer?
Yeah.
Where do you all sit?
So where we sit is we're a managed service provider. We have a hardware sale that we do at the beginning if you don't have a SIM already embedded in your device. So we support devices like devices that will come with a consumer eSIM out of the box, or they already have an eSIM integrated into the solution. But what we focus on is being able to help them activate the radio onto a network. If a SIM card's required, we provide it. If not, but we are a recurring business model, so we do subscription models. We keep our customers engaged on that subscription, and really it's around scale up as they're successful and as they grow and deploy. The models basically we are a subscription business. We make our money on that as a recurring revenue model on that perspective.
For like where a large-scale IoT network, for example, or asset network, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
some of the things you have to go through is provisioning, security, root of trust. How does that all play into this?
So with us, that's one of the areas that we use as our special sauce effectively, is that we help customers with that entire provisioning experience. We give you a single experience regardless of what network operator you're working with, what network you happen to be connected to. We obfuscate that from the customer, that they don't have to worry about connection 1, connection 2, connection 3, connection 4. If you're working across multiple networks, if you're roaming in different parts of the globe, we have customers who have 50,000 devices in all different geos across the globe. We give them a single bill, a single experience to manage all of that, and then more importantly, they connect over a single IP network with us so that they don't have to worry about the challenges that come along with that. We then help them in the context of how do I actually connect with a single connection, things like that. We work with them around supporting the use cases of they might have root of trust concerns, they might need to get different keys put in, and we help them with the guidance to help them achieve that outcome without necessarily putting them down a single path, and more importantly, working with them accordingly. A lot of the solutions that we talk about in digital transformation are bespoke. Customers are like just taking 5 things off the shelf. They're often crafting something together. So
I gather that would be the case.
Well, the connectivity has to work within the context of that, and if it doesn't, this is the case that comes into play. But the nice part we provide is we allow them to do that, and more importantly, through APIs and capabilities they can integrate in, so they can bring that entire provisioning in, and we're a white label that no one ever has to see because we're the ones they trust to be able to deliver that through the process.
Last question. I mean, what are the, you talk to a lot of customers, networks, network providers. What are the big challenges going forward for people who are trying to deploy IoT or in sort of this whole connected, intelligent future that we're talking about? Yeah,
the challenge comes into a couple things. One is, and this is a language thing, is too often the new hype and the new things get in the way. So too often we're talking about acronyms, and the cellular industry and mobile operators we're great at acronizing everything. IoT is an acronym itself, as a case in point. So too often we're talking about like eSIM, and we need to have SGP32, and you're thinking 10 years down the road. But you have to contextualize, what are you trying to accomplish today? What are those outcomes? And how do you get it in plain talk for people to understand it? If a customer's goal is, I have a device that's going to be 2 years, 3 years in the market, well, actually, you can probably solve it with this, this, and this, and then here's the roadmap and that path down the future proof. I think demystifying it and getting her out of the acronym soup, and more importantly saying, we can help you achieve your goals for resiliency, life of the device, and then how do I take that forward? That's where you have to actually focus on, because it ultimately comes down to is people aren't connecting devices for a hobby, for fun, for thrills. We're talking business to business, and the whole premise here is I need to be able to connect something based on the technology that's available today to achieve the business outcomes 1, 3, 5 years down the road. It's not the late 20 teens anymore where money was cheap, hobbies were everywhere, and we're all just going to transform and business will come later. People need outcomes and they need goals, and that's that part you got to be able to address.
Well, Dave, thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you, Nitin. Appreciate it.